Okay, let me just check, see that everything's working, and then we'll get started in about 5 minutes, probably like 4:05. So you can get anything you want, snacks, I don't care. Test, test. Test, test. All right. Once again, I'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll start. One thing I would like to say though is that if you have any questions or just want to say something random, put it in the chat and I'll look at it towards the end. But I'll be going over a bunch of different things during this live stream. Let me just see. Alrighty. I think, I just need to put on my light. There we go. Now you can see more of my face. All right, I think we're good to start. So welcome everyone who's watching live or anyone who's watching much later. I'm the East Coast fan, and welcome to the first live stream in a really long time. A lot earlier in my channel's career, I used to do this thing. I only did it twice. It is called East Coaster Sundays, and don't try looking for it because they are not on the channel anymore. And I originally tried to make it all about Planet Coaster, but the problem was I was playing it on this computer that did not like running Planet Coaster that much. So when I streamed it, it was just an insanely laggy mess. And like I said, I did it twice. The first time, I just wanted to see how it happened. Second time, what happened was I was playing it and there were a bunch of like interruptions from in my household and just like other things. So I decided to stop doing it. I am on a different computer than I was during those East Coaster Sunday videos, but I'm not sure if I'd be doing that as often anymore. I do love Planet Coaster still. It is still an amazing game. But, things change. So, like I said, this is first live stream in a really long time. And the reason I want to do this live stream is one, I wanted to say a few things about myself, what's going on in the future, and a chance to connect to the viewers. So like I said before, if you just joined now, if you want to say something to me directly, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the live chat and I'll address it. So, first thing I want to address is I'm in a different location. If you've seen a couple of my videos where I, film myself, the place where I film looks completely different, and that's because I am at school right now. I am a college student, if you can't tell already, and I'm actually a student at the University of Delaware. So, go Blue Hens! One of the good things about that is I'm still East Coast, so don't worry, East Coaster fan is still on the East Coast. And my location here, I'm actually really close to some parks that I wasn't close to before. There's kind of like an hour and a half ring around my college. So like an hour and a half is Great Adventure, an hour and a half is Dorney, an hour and a half is Hershey, hour and a half is Six Flags America. So there's a bunch of places where I'm able to go. But the thing is, school is very important, and I am prioritizing school as of now. So, once we hit the summertime, that's where I'll prioritize amusement parks. But as of now, school is the most important thing. But I still managed to bring many aspects of amusement parks and roller coasters here at college. So if you could see back there, there is a coaster calendar that I actually have in my room. I think I showed it once before. I think it was during my face reveal. Yeah. My face reveal, I kind of had a different angle than other videos. So like I originally when I first started filming stuff in my room, I I angled it towards like a different wall and like a closet door. And I think normally I have this calendar there, so maybe you've seen it. I mean, this is the Ace calendar. And I've been purchasing the Ace calendar for many, many years now. It's great. I love it. So I thought, hey, I'd bring it to college. I mean, something easy to bring. I'm also actually wearing an Ace shirt, even though it's not the 40th anniversary. 2018 was like the year I joined Ace. It was actually 2017, but I joined in like around Christmas time. The other thing I brought is I brought my roller coaster pillow. This I got a few years back, and on my screen it's reversed or mirrored, but trust me, it looks really cool, and I really like this pillow. It's like really silly. I forget who made it, and I'm sorry, I forget exactly who made it, but I really respect the person who did make it. And you can purchase it online if you search up a roller coaster pillow on like either Amazon, Redbubble, or just Google. You can just purchase it, and it's great. Let's see, anything else? Just looking around my room for anything coaster related at this point. I mean, I have a few other shirts that I brought. Oh, and this photo. This is a photo that was taken of me during the first year I went to Riding of the Bull. And yeah, this is probably one of my all-time favorite coaster pictures. It was actually taken by my dad, who also went that year. And yeah, there's like that picture is perfect timing. If you saw my video, like I think it was like 2-3 years ago when I did that Batman and Nitro tour for Riding of the Bull, it's amazing. It's so cool. You could get so close to the track, including like right next to the first drop where that picture is taken, and a few other things. And don't forget, there's even the Batman part of that tour where you can go like literally right next to the second corkscrew. So yeah, I think that's all the coasters. Oh, there's one more thing I want to show. This is a little bit bigger. So let's see if I can. This is behind my computer. This I also received years and years ago, but again, it was small enough where I could bring it with me. And it's this amazing picture of Epcot Center or Epcot, whatever. I just call it Epcot Center at this point. But this is the view across the lake. There's the monorail, and then here I'll put it here. Sorry, there's a glare. And then there's the Imagination Pavilion. Don't know exactly what year this was taken. I mean, there might be something on the back. 2016. And I'll give credit. It says it was created by H. Schwezler. I hope Harry Schwissler. So again, this is another purchase made as a gift, and I freaking love this picture so much that it is good enough for me to bring with me. Oops. Sorry, there's like this inclined roof that I have. It like goes all the way down. If I angle it up, you may be able to see. It like bends down. So let's see. Anything else? I think that's all the coaster stuff that I brought. So that is where I am right now. And I mean, again, I'm usually, if you didn't know beforehand, I'm originally from Long Island, New York. So my home parks are usually Adventureland, Long Island, which I have a lot to say about that park later on in this live stream. Coney Island is an hour away, so is the mediocre Splish Splash water park. Yep, I said it. Normally I'm like 2.5 hours away from Great Adventure, but now I'm an hour and a half. I'm not sure if that makes much of a difference, but if the longer I am at this school, the more often I'll probably be able to go there. But this is my first year at the college. And for those wondering, like, the COVID restrictions here are fine. There was a spike a little, like, about 4 weeks ago, but it's starting to get a little better, so that's good. Let's see. I have this if you see me looking down, I have this piece of paper. I'm not gonna show you what's written on it, but it's just a bunch of things that I wanna talk about during this live stream. So if you see me doing that, that's why. And also to prove that I'm a Delaware student, I have the cup. So that is definitely proof. And if you're curious, I'm majoring in mechanical engineering. So any mechies out there, I give thumbs up to. So we're gonna start off with kind of a big announcement, and it's not a video announcement. It's actually more of a social announcement, and is that I created an official East Coaster fan Instagram account. So if you type in East Coaster fan on Instagram, I should come up. There's only one post and it's my logo, but I really want to start posting there a lot more often. And it's going to be coaster pictures, coaster videos from different parks or different sections from my videos. Maybe I'll try making a few memes. And yeah, I mean, if any of you are stalking me by looking up my name on Instagram, you know I have an account already on there. That's good. That's more of a personal account, but I mean, you could follow that too. Here, I'll put the Instagram account in the live chat. So that is the Instagram account. It's East Coaster fan, and between each word there's an underscore. I'll also put the link down. All right, I just got to switch. I don't know why that's not working, but I mean, if you just type in that name, it should work. There's also my personal Instagram account, which is SL Kinjima, which unironically has the words SLC there. and that is pure irony. Like when I was given my name by my parents, my first name started with an S, my last name started with a C. They decided on a middle name that started with an L. Who knew? I mean, maybe I was destined to become a coaster enthusiast. And then also, this is very minor, but there's also a Reddit account that is also East Coast a fan. I'm not sure, like, I don't really post that often on Reddit, but it's there. I'm not even sure if you can follow people. Basically, I just go on Reddit to search for memes. There's a lot of good ones though. Like, I can name a bunch of great subreddits. There's like r/roller coaster jerk, r/roller coasters, r/guess the coasters, which may talk about that one later because there's almost going to be a video on that. There might still be a video on that coming, but I'll say what my original thought was about that. And I think that's pretty much it for social medias. But if you're really interested in wanting to know, like, my day-to-day life or any last minute park announcements, where I am at certain times, if you want to direct message me, I'm fine with that. I'm always willing to talk to other coaster enthusiasts. I feel like we're a great community, and it's great to meet other people, not just at roller coaster events, but just talking, meeting people at random events. And especially if any of you, especially now, like any Delaware fans that I have, I'd love to meet up. Same thing with any Long Island fans. I'm always willing to meet up with you guys. So I think we're done with the first two. And now for this next part, I just want to talk about like COVID, which like I think we're all sick of COVID now. But I want to take a second to talk about basically my experience with COVID last year. I mean, everyone has a different COVID story to tell. Um, so for our family, like everyone was basically affected on not infected with the virus then, but like our lives changed on March 13th. That's when school shut down, like jobs were all basically going virtual, and that was my last day of school. I was a class of 2020 student, so unfortunately, that was my last day of in-person school, which is definitely sad to think about. But I've kind of moved on past then. And, look at me now. I'm in college. I'm in my own room. But that was definitely a not the best way to end the year or end my senior year. But anyway, I was basically hoping all year that these parks would open, especially in New York, because not to name any names, although you probably know who I'm talking about. New York would not open their parks. Adventureland wouldn't open. Coney Island wouldn't open. Boomers wouldn't open, even though they're shut down. Unfortunately, almost was gonna make a video on that. May still make a video on that. I have a lot of ideas about videos. Some come into fruition a lot quicker than others, and some are put on the shelf for sometimes years, to be honest. But so once Great Adventure opened up, I went. Well, when Great Adventure opened up, I think it was around May. I could be wrong, but it took me a while to actually get to the park. I think my first visit was like in the summer, which is crazy to think about because usually I like going in the spring. But let's see. There's Great Adventure. Um, oh, there was the trip I did in July to Hershey. So I got to ride Candymonium, which was such a fantastic ride. Honestly, I love it so much. It's in my top 10. It just barely beats Nitro for me. So like on my list, if I ever release it, I have like Nitro and Candymonium neck and neck. And it really depends on how good Nitro is running. If you've ever ridden Nitro at Great Adventure, you know like sometimes they'll run really good and sometimes they'll be a little sluggish. But Candymonium is a really solid ride. One I never did a review on it, but I'll give you my quick thoughts now. The drops are really steep. So when you're going down that first drop, I don't know the angle, but I think it's around 80-ish. Maybe 70. I don't know. It probably feels a lot steeper than it actually is. And same with the Camelback Hills. Like when you're going up, it feels really steep. The other interesting part of that is like there are a few trim breaks. I will admit there's two. There's one I believe after the turnaround, although that one doesn't hit as hard. And then the second one is right before you go around the Kisses fountain, and that one definitely hits pretty hard. I will say you definitely feel it more in the back. That second trim break. The first trim, to be honest, it only impacts the ride a little bit, so I don't really think about that one. But overall, a really solid ride. In my opinion, a front row coaster just because of that trim. And I went literally days before they finished the Kisses fountain, so it probably looks a lot nicer now. But when I was doing that helix, it was like a construction zone all in the middle of that. And then just Chocolate Town in general. I think I said this in my vlog that I did there, but definitely a nice entrance. Like I really love it. The only issue I have with it is shade. I went to Hershey on a really hot day, or actually really hot days, yeah. And there isn't any trees until you get to like the old area near Founders Way. So I mean, I don't expect any shading for a while. I mean, I think they do have a few trees there, not a lot. It's mostly like asphalt all throughout. Like when I was there, I could literally smell the asphalt, so you could definitely tell it was new. But if they added just like more trees in the middle, I think it would make it a really nice area. And give it a couple of years. They're still working on it. This year, they're just finishing it. They're opening up the confectionery, ice cream shop, and the restaurant. Restaurant looks really cool. It's on the second floor. And I kind of wish I did a video inside the gift shop, which is also a really cool place. I almost got a nano coaster at Hershey Park. They had a Skyrush one. I was almost going to buy it, but I decided not to. And if you're wondering, I do have a nano coaster collection at home. Did not bring it to college. I have El Toro, the Coney Island Cyclone, and my favorite coaster, Intimidator 305. I also have, and I may post this to the Instagram because it's really cool when I get back, but it's the whatever they call that wooden thing now that Coaster Dynamics is selling. I got the Volcano the Blast Coaster one because I just thought that was the coolest one. It's like the one where it's like coming out. It's actually really big. It's like, yeah, it's pretty tall when you actually build it. But I will say the building process is kind of painful, both figuratively and literally. Like I feel like I got a couple of like small splinters when I was building it. And then also it was like a pain to push each of those things in. I mean, this is me just talking in an engineering way, but like there was not enough space for like the parts to properly fit in. It was almost like it was like the same size. So when you had to put it in, you had to put it extremely hard and hope that the wood didn't break. And there were a couple instances where the wood broke, and that just made the construction a lot more difficult. And I will admit, I did use hot glue on some of the parts, but unfortunately, that's not with me right now. That is at home. So then, the highlight of last year, I think, it was definitely the ACE event called ACES 2 for Connecticut. I had a great time at this event. It was one of my favorite amusement park days ever, and I pretty much say that for every ACE event I go to. But this was, I mean, this is such a great day. Start off taking the ferry over to Connecticut from Port Jeff. If you're from Long Island, you know where that is. Taking that all across the Sound and going to Quasi in the morning. We got there extremely early. We were the first people in the Quasi parking lot, me and my dad. So when we were there, we like I if you saw in that video when I walked down to like the top turnaround of Wooden Warrior, you could see like no one else is in the park except one car. So once more people showed up, I mean, I met this one coaster enthusiast. I'm so sorry, I forget his name, but he was a really nice guy. He had an Orion shirt on, and we were talking about that ride. Like he was talking about Orion, I was talking about Candymonium. And he's a local. His home park, I believe, is Lake Compounds. So he knew that park like the back of his hand. Although I saw him a lot more at Quasi than I did Lake Compounds. So me and him rode a Wooden Warrior for the first time. Well, he's ridden it plenty of times, but it was my first time on it. Rode in the back for the first ride, I believe. The way they were doing it because of COVID, they weren't filling every row. They were filling the first, third, and last row. So there were two rows that were empty. So unfortunately, I feel like I could have gotten stronger airtime with a full train, but I still really like the ride. It's not, as I say in the vlog, it's not an ejector-filled ride. It's kind of like borderline floater ejector. It's not it's not strong enough to be ejector, but it's not weak enough to be floater. It's in the middle. And there's like one hill of that ride that I freaking love. It's where you turn around and it's the drop right before you enter the tunnel. Like that drop is so good. The other ones are kind of small, and you'll definitely pop up a little bit, but like out of all the hills on that ride, that was a really good one. And it makes me want to try the other gravity groups because that was my first one. I've never been on any others. So like if I ever make the trip up to ride Rorosaurus, if I ever want to go back to Sesame Place to ride Oscar's Wacky Taxi, those definitely seem intriguing, especially the Oscars because everyone really loves that ride. I actually went to when I was very young. I went to Sesame Place as a child. Never rode any of the coasters though. So I never got my credit on Vapor Trail, unfortunately. So anyway, we finished Quasi and then went to Lake Compounds. But just before we went to Lake Compounds, I met these two guys named Zach and Alex. These guys are so nice, and I really wish I got them in the video. These guys were so nice to me. We were just like joking around, doing all sorts of stuff. and I want to give them a big shout out. I think I definitely put their Instagram in the video description, so I recommend you check out their accounts. But I really, if they're listening, like, thank you for being so nice, and I'd love to hang out with you guys, especially if I go to Lake Compounds again. There's a rumor I remember hearing from the guy who organized Aces 2 for Connecticut that they're really interested in doing an event next year that celebrates Boulder Dash's 20th birthday. Now, it's not it's not its 20th birthday. I believe last year was its 20th birthday, but COVID reasons and all. So I mean, if they have an event at Lake Compounds or Six Flags New England, never been there. I really want to, but I've never gotten the chance to go there yet. It's definitely a park on my radar, though. I've said many times that I really want to go to Six Flags New England, but I'd be willing to go with them. So you may or may not see them in a future video, but I really hope that they are able to be in a future video. So like I said, we were at Lake Compounds. We that was my second visit there, and first time ever being there at night, which I got my Boulder Dash night ride, and that was great. Phobia is really fun. It definitely makes it seem like Tempesto. It definitely makes Tempesto look bad. That's kind of like the thought I want to say. And then I didn't ride Wildcat that day, and I did not ride Zoomerang, but I'm okay with that. Actually, Wildcat was closed, which I don't mind. Wildcat at Lake Compounds is my least favorite coaster I've ridden. And before I say, I have not ridden an SLC yet, which is quite ironic. I am an SLC. That's my name. But yeah, so definitely wood-wise, though, that is my least favorite wooden coaster. I rode it the first time I was at Lake Compounds in like 2017, I think. That was the year they just put on the new GCI trains. And the problem with the ride is that it jackhammers like crazy. Like there's a part of the ride, I think, after the turnaround, after when you go down the first drop, there's a turnaround. That part's fine. It's when you go back the other way where it like jackhammers like crazy. Like, oh my god. And unfortunately I waited like an hour for it. I would never do that again. But it was like a full queue. Zoomerang's not the best either. There's the problem with Zoomerang compared to Sidewinder, which I've only ridden once at Hershey Park, but Sidewinder is a lot better. One, they have the different restraints. Two, I mean, this might be a problem with Sidewinder as well, but I forget it. I remember it more with Zoomerang. The back of the seat is like super weird. It's kind of like it's not flat. It's kind of like they have two semi-spheres like back here. So when you're putting your back against it, it's like curving a little. It's very hard to explain. Oh, I see your comment, QD24. Zamperla Volaires are worse than SLCs. I have ridden a Zamperla Volaire before at Coney Island. Soaring Eagle, only done it once. You could probably tell why. But yeah, I think Soaring Eagle is probably my least favorite steel coaster, but Wildcat at Lake Compounds is my least favorite wood for now. We'll get into that later. So let's see. After that amazing day, I think I went to Great Adventure again, or Great Adventure for either I think the first time. And then let's see. So in the fall, I was informed that we were not able to go on campus. So what happened was I spent that first semester of college at home. That means, so my original idea for that was, okay, I want to try and attend every single Long Island. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was an insane voice crack. I want to attend every single Long Island Halloween event there was. So my original plan was to do Harbs, which ended up happening, Bayville Scream Park, which ended up happening. But then there were um, two that didn't happen. Well, one kind of happened. One was supposed to be Fright Fest. I did go to that. I did not film a video for it, and I'll explain why. And then the third was Schmidt's Farm, which is about 10 minutes away from Great Adventure. Amazing place. I used to go there when I was a kid, but I've never done the haunted house, especially at night. So I really wanted to go, but the problem was they had a personal limit, basically a personal limit. You need a group of 4 to go in. And unfortunately, all my friends were away. So, and I knew that my family was not gonna want to go in, and plus it was kind of pricey. So I decided to skip on it. But the 2 places I did go to, Harbs and Bayville. We'll start with Harbs. Harbs is a place I've been going to for many years since I was like a little kid. It was definitely a different video to make, and I understand not that many people on a roller coaster YouTube account are interested in pumpkin farms, but I just posted it for the hell of it. And they have roasted corn, pumpkin picking. It's just a different thing. However, I was not expecting the success of Bayville Scream Park. Regardless of the event, just talk about the video in general. Thank you so much for all the support that video has been getting. I think that video is like one of my most viewed. And basically I got all those views in October. No one's really searching for it now, obviously. But like, if that video keeps getting views in October, that would be great. Let me just double check, because I think this video is doing very, very well. Yeah, it's number 3. So like my most viewed, there's Mr. Six, the Hershey Lodge, and then Bayville Scream Park. Those are my top 3. And Bayville Scream Park is definitely an interesting experience. It was a little pricey, but I had a fun time there. I went in the 2 haunted houses. There was the Uncle Needles Funhouse of Fear and Bloodworth Manor. Uncle Needles, I went in as a group, kind of like they do at like a bunch of haunted houses, where you go in with a bunch of people. But I was at the very end of the line, and so I wasn't getting all the scares. But I could definitely tell that it was a quality haunted house. But for Bloodworth, the person there was sending in people based on their specific group. And since I was by myself, I was a group of 1. So I went through that entire haunted house by myself, and that haunted house is dark and long. It took about 10 minutes to go through the entire thing, and I was very impressed. There were a few other things there, but I didn't do it. Evil in the Woods. I think there's one called The Experiment. What else is there? Temple of Terror. I think that's it. Cage? Or I might be thinking of something else. Whatever. Yeah, there's like a bunch of things to do there. It looked pretty busy. I know there's an issue later. I went on opening night, and it wasn't busy at all, because who wants to go to a haunted house in like September? But which is definitely the time you're supposed to go if you're a fan of these events. But I heard in the news later on that there was like this issue where there is a lot of people there, which I knew, like, getting close to Halloween that would happen. but apparently there is some COVID violations there as well. So, I'll just let that be. But I did have a good time there. Um, let's see. After Halloween, okay, so after Halloween, I went to Great Adventure again in November, and that was the video where I mainly specified that I wanted to go on the rides that I thought may be in danger. There was a there's this announcement, you may or may not have heard of it, that Six Flags was going to retire 15 rides throughout the chain. And the general consensus was that it was going to be one ride per park. Now, we know today that it is not one per park. Like, look at Six Flags St. Louis. I think they're removing. Either it's official or it's a rumor. I don't know, but they're supposed to be removing two rides there. I believe Antique Cars and then their Drop Tower. But it was actually confirmed by Great Adventure that they're not removing anything. So going to the park, you'll see the Parachute Tower. You'll see the Twister Back. So that's definitely good to see. I'm always happy that these rides can stay, especially the Parachute Tower. It's one of my favorite rides at the park, and it's definitely a classic. So I said at the end of that video that I really wanted to plan on going to the park in either December or January for like the last day the park was open. Unfortunately, that did not happen. My schedule just got really busy around that time. So unfortunately, that was not able to occur. But overall, like I did try and make the most out of that year. It was definitely a hard one for enthusiasts, but even more so for the parks. And I just hope like this year, I mean, so far it looks to be much better, but I really hope that these parks will recover. And the only way they can recover is if people like us and the general public start going back. So I highly recommend purchase a ticket. Get a day admission to a park. Play games, buy food, buy merchandise. Just try, if you want to support these parks, give them your money. So then, this is where things get interesting. In January, I said that I was going to try and upload a lot more. And, that was in between the fall and spring semester. There was I have a month off. And I really wanted to focus on the YouTube channel. And there were two things that happened. One, I took a winter class. Through my college, I took a math class during the winter. That was pretty rough. I had like math every day for like 3 or 4 hours, and it was a lot to take in. So that definitely took a lot of my time away. So then the second thing, I believe it was New Year's or like New Year's Day. I'm not gonna say who, but a person in my family tested positive for COVID, and it eventually made way to me. So basically, I spent most of January in quarantine, which is not fun. We're all better now, and it's all passed. Many people in my family are starting to get vaccines, so it's definitely gone way up. But that month was definitely tough. Like quarantining is not the funnest thing, or not the most fun thing to do. I will say though, like compared to many others, and I know, like I think we were very lucky. I know there were some families out there, some people out there who had much worse conditions, um, and unfortunately, like end up in the hospital. But just for me personally, I know I was originally, I think, asymptomatic. Then my main thing was like I had sore throat for like a whole week, and that sucked. It's horrible. There was also like the occasional fever, but that's pretty much the extent of all my conditions. And like I said, it by the time I was kind of feeling down the entirety of my quarantine. So once that ended, I was feeling a lot better. But um, it was definitely an experience. It's kind of funny though. Like we went we went the entire year of 2020 without COVID, and then what do we? Once 2021 hits, 2021, we're gonna improve things. What do we get? COVID on the first day. So yeah, that definitely took a toll on me, both energy wise, because I was already like low on energy, and then I was also taking a college class. So I think the only video I was able to make during that time was Coney Island, uh, the new coaster that they announced for Dino's Wonder Wheel, which I could see beforehand. Night is right said, "Are you aware of the Coney Island style of constructing roller coasters, specifically the 20s to 50s era of Coney Island coasters?" Um, I'll answer that in a second, but that's what made me think of this video. Phoenix definitely looks like a really great ride to add to Coney Island, and an amazing addition to Dino's Wonder Wheel. Um, and I think it'll definitely be a standout ride. It could definitely be either. It might end up in the top three at Coney Island. Usually, I put Cyclone at number one. Cyclone's a really great ride. Like it feels like you're riding on a couch. Number two, I always put Steeplechase. I love that ride, especially the launch. You get such a. It feels like your back's gonna break with the forces. And then I normally put like Thunderbolt, even though I think that ride's not the best. Um. So let's see. Yeah, so Phoenix definitely looks amazing. And to go back to that question, are you aware of the Coney Island style of constructing coasters, specifically the 20s to 50s era? Not really. No. I mean, I know most of those coasters were wood. It's actually a few months ago. I never knew this that Coney Island had a jumbo jet, like until in the 2000s too. Like that's crazy to think because I've seen videos of like these jumbo jets at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I know there's still one I think that exists at Lagoon. It's definitely a cool ride that I would love to experience because I loved the Flitzer at Jenkinson's before that got removed. And I know that's a rare coaster now. I'm not even sure if they have any Flitzers left. At least not any nearby. Um, so that was basically my whole year from March 2020 to about now. I mean, this past month and a half, I've been focusing on school again. And school is a lot of work, especially when you're in college. Okay, got my drink. Keep talking. So, now we're here. We're in the present. And like I said, throughout this video, I've mentioned many video ideas that got scrapped. There was one video that literally was almost ready to go out, but I decided not to upload it, which that's happened to many videos of mine, I will say. there has to be like 4 videos that are like pretty much complete, but I'm just not gonna release it because they're bad. I could actually devote a video to like rejected videos like Mr. Beast did. Not a bad idea. But and let me know if you think this idea is good. I was gonna make a video on Adventureland focusing on basically its 2020 season, like landmarking everything that's happened from when they said that they weren't going to open in March. And when I had the idea, I had it set. I ended it around October, but much more has happened now. I'd probably go up to now opening day, which is April 10th. So let me know if you think that idea is good, because not only Adventureland, but I mean other parks had an interesting 2020 season that can be cataloged. What other video ideas did I have? God, so many things come in and out all the time. I don't know. I'll come back to that. However, there is one video I do want to talk about that I really haven't mentioned in about 2 years, and that is my Brief History series. Now, don't worry, the Brief History of Golden Kingdom is still happening. However, it is probably not going to come out until definitely the latter half of this year. But I don't know. It's definitely going to happen later. Like, this video has been on and off for many years now. Sometimes I work on it and then I just jump on another thing and then leave that video behind. And I really want to make Brief History of the Golden Kingdom my best video ever. As of right now, I mean, I'm still like in the script writing process. Like I said, it's been extremely slow, but I just I just always want to add more to that video, more jokes, more information, more obscure facts. It is when it will release, and again, I don't know when. It will be by far my biggest video. Now, when I say that though, I'm not counting my April Fool's video from last year, Roller Coasters A to Z. That is definitely a one-off. I'm saying it'll definitely be longer than the Brief History of Mr. Six, and I will make sure it is definitely better than Brief History of Mr. Six. And I want to say thank you for everyone who's been so supportive of not just the Brief History of Mr. Six, but also Brief History of Adventure on Haunted Houses, and basically all my videos. I just want to thank you for all the support. We just hit 250 subscribers. Not a lot compared to others, but a lot for me, and I'm very happy with 250. I'd rather that than 0 any day of the week. So thank you. You are amazing. You are amazing fans, and thank you for being so supportive. But back to Brief History of Golden Kingdom. My plan for it is going to be focusing, this is the general format of the video. And if you have any ideas, please put it below of what to include, because if it's a weird tangent, I'll put it in. I don't care. Whenever I say Brief History, it's a joke. The title Brief History is meant to be a joke because I focus on way too much stuff. You could see Brief History of Mr. Six. I took this commercial and basically spent 25 minutes talking about it. Now, that being said, I did focus on the creation of Mr. Six, all the old ads, and everything else. And that will definitely happen in Golden Kingdom as well. But I just love those weird facts. And like some of those facts end up being the best parts of those videos because I can make jokes on them. They're so good. But my general idea for now, my general outline for the brief history of Mrs. Six, I'm sorry, brief history of the Golden Kingdom, is starting. I always like going back to the when the park was first created and going throughout the park's history to explain why they're at this point of getting the ride. Talk about the construction, which Mr. Six didn't need that. But for the Adventure on Haunted Houses video, if I ever redid that video, I really want to focus more on the construction. That video is definitely like mostly jokes, and I still want to do mostly jokes because that's definitely a thing that's like that I love doing, making jokes. But I do want to add some more information there. So basically, the outline I have now for the video is, like going through the park's history, stopping at I think it's like lightning loops because that's technically a launch coaster. Um, and then once that leaves, I say like, oh, they need a launch coaster, yada yada yada, and all sorts of shenanigans happen, and it will be a crazy video, not just to watch, but for me to edit. There's gonna be a lot of memes and a lot of things, but just remember, it's only about halfway written, so I still have a lot to do. Once the written process is done, I feel like I can edit a lot quicker because the writing part does take the most time because I am looking at all these sources of information. I will say though, if you do want to learn more about the Golden Kingdom or anything at Great Adventure before I release that video, please, please, please go check out this website, Great Adventure History. It is fantastic. I will definitely be referencing them a lot in that video because of their amazing work. That they've like preserved so much stuff from basically every single ride, attraction, show thing in that park's history. So let's see, anything else about Golden Kingdom? I will be releasing when it is ready, I'll be releasing a trailer for that video. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's go to the last big part of the of this stream that I want to talk about, and that is park visits. Now, I said last year that there was a trip that was going to be going on that got pushed back to this year. And it is going to be an amazing trip. And I'm going to announce that not now, but later. And it's definitely it's going to be an amazing trip. I will say though, without saying what it is, it's going to involve 2 new parks. What can I say? 2 new parks, 1 park I have been to, and there's a lot of credits to be had. That's all the information I'm going to give you for that trip. Now, a more important thing to talk about, especially right now, what opening days are you going to? So instead of making a travel video, which, to be honest, when I make those travel videos, I kind of make those for myself. I'm not expecting so many people to watch those. I just kind of like to be creative. Like last year, I went to the food store and and basically got all the stereotypical Six Flags foods for no reason. There wasn't even like a Six Flags trip planned, but I just thought that would be funny. I mean, I do have an idea. I do want to do a travel video for when I announce that main trip this year, and I do have an idea for it. But that is gonna have to wait for a little bit, and you'll definitely see. It's gonna be a funny reveal. But for now, I'm basically gonna say what my plans are for about till May, I'll say, and most of them are coming up really soon. So the first big thing is Great Adventure. Now, I know many of you are hoping that I would be able to go to Great Adventure's opening day. And unfortunately, I cannot. I am busy that entire weekend. So, unfortunately, I can't go to Great Adventure opening weekend. That being said, I have reserved a day for Tuesday, March 30th. So mark that down. I'll put it in the chat too. So Tuesday, March 30th. Right, yep, that's the Tuesday. So Six Flags Great Adventure. So that is the first big thing. And then the second, again, I hate to say this, but for Adventureland, I will also be unable to attend opening day. That being said, I will be returning home that week. So the week I go to Great Adventure is when I'm briefly gonna be home, and I'm gonna be able to go to Adventureland's arcade opening. So my goal for that day is to make a video regarding Adventureland opening. Like technically, the rides aren't going to be open, but we'll see what I can do. I want to point out a few things there. I want to just play the arcade because I've never done it before. It's amazing. All these years I've gone to Adventureland and never done it. I remember there was one time me and my brother were there, and I think we saw either a token or a card. There's just a line on the ground. And again, we were pretty dumb for doing this, but we decided to use it on a game, and we got tickets for it, and got like this probably some like stupid candy thing, but that was the only time I've ever done the arcade. I've never paid money explicitly to play the arcade, and that's gonna change change when I go. Second thing I want to point out, restaurant. They're gonna be releasing new food items there that I want to try. Now, like I said, at Adventureland, I've tried a lot of their food items. Some are definitely better than others. And right now, I'd say the pizza there is the best thing to eat at the park. They have these new items this year. I forget. Oh my god, I forget what it is. Let me double check. Oh man. I'm like searching their Instagram. Okay. Yep, they have a new mac and cheese thing and a pulled pork sandwich. So we'll see we'll see how that tastes. They also have for the adults, they have this new bar called Tony's Tavern. Now, obviously, I won't be able to experience that, but I'll try and point it out in that video. And the last thing is I was able to purchase a spot on their new like wall thing. I forget. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's kind of like the Leave a Legacy. So if you go to the park and search for my name, you should find it. And I'll definitely find it pointed out in the video so others can find it as well. Now, it's not as extreme as like the bricks outside of Turbulence, but it's still a very nice thing to have. And apparently that's going to stay there forever, so that's pretty cool. So, let me get her a drink. So, those are my two main plans for openings, and there's definitely going to be a video for each. I'm definitely going to do a video for my visit to Great Adventure, even though it's not opening day, and it's still pretty close to opening, and there might be less crowds since it's on a weekday and it's not opening day weekend. That is still spring break though, so we'll see how it is. If it's busy, I can always just film stuff, and that's one of the best parts of having this YouTube channel is I can really do all sorts of different things while at the park. I also want to do a Jersey Devil construction when I'm there. I mean, there's not much to really say. If you're on the Six Flags Instagram account, they do updates very often. Same thing with the YouTube channel. They like to talk about their updates, and you betcha when they open that thing up, I will be there because they're probably going to open up in May. School will be over, and yeah. Let's see. Any other Six Flags things? I mean, hey, if you want to meet me, and this goes for Adventureland 2 or any park, please message me on the East Coaster Fam Instagram account. Just message me on that, and I'd be glad to meet up with you, ride a few things. Let's see. And if you show up, I'll make sure to put you in the video. If you are a fan, please meet up with me. I'd love to meet new coaster enthusiasts every day. Now, once again, since I'm here at in Delaware, I do have I'm back home for that week, but I do go back for the rest of April and pretty much the rest of May. My finals are like mid to late May. So we'll see what happens, but there may be a chance that I could travel to those parks that I said were on the perimeter. So like Hershey Park's really close. Six Flags America is really close. I've never been there before. Great Adventures, I could always go back there. Diggerland, I don't know. Yeah, there's a bunch of places that I've yet to try, and since I'm in this new location, I can try it. Now, unfortunately, I do not have transportation to those. I'm kind of stuck here. But if any of you are willing, I'd be down to come to you to a park. Just make sure to message me. I don't want someone like going up to me and saying, "You're coming to the park with me." So, let's see. Anything else park visit wise? Oh, well, one thing is there is always Nickelodeon Universe. Now, I think I've talked about Nickelodeon Universe before, and the reason I don't like mentioning that park. I haven't gone there yet, but it is way too expensive. And that is the reason I'm probably not going for at least a while. I want to make sure that if I go, all the rides are operating. That's number one, including the drop tower and a few other things. Two, I want to make sure the mall is entirely open. Yeah, I just want to explore it. And then what's the third thing? Crap. I had this planned out. So there were expensive, the mall. Maybe it's just those two things. Hmm. Yeah, but so I'm not really interested in going that much. Oh, that's right. The rides aren't the best for the price that you pay. I mean, everyone's saying now that Sandy's Blasting Bronco has this god awful rattle. I get never been on it, but that's what people are saying. TMNT Shell Razor is definitely the standout ride at that park, and don't get me wrong, I'd love to experience that, but I'm not paying $60 to um, travel just to ride it, especially now. Shredder looks cool. I think Slime Streak looks interesting, but those are the main draws really for it. And why go there when? I mean, I have a season pass to Great Adventure, but why go there when you could pay half the price to go to Great Adventure and experience a park that's literally probably 10 times bigger and has freaking El Toro, Nitro, soon to be Jersey Devil, King Ka, Superman, all these rides that are probably much better than most of the things at Nickelodeon Universe. If they ever have a Ace event there that's really cheap, I'll go. If they ever have a sale there, I'll go. But again, it's just way too expensive for me to go. Again, that's just my opinion on the matter. But if you're really interested in going, go ahead. I mean, it's always great to see what other coaster enthusiasts think. And like I said before, you should always try to support these parks as much as you can. Like let's say if Nickelodeon Universe is in real deep trouble, like they're pretty much on the verge of bankruptcy, I'll go. But I mean, right now it does seem that they are getting people in the gate. Once the water park opens, it may be open or it's like gonna be opening soon. Once that place opens, I think more people will go there. Same way, like once COVID restrictions start to become less and less, and we are entering spring break, so that's another opportunity for people to go to the park. It just yeah, I mean, people will go there, but there are just other places that I'd rather be. Um, so I think that is all of the things that I had planned to talk about during this live stream. I know we're over an hour now, so if any of you are still watching live or if you've watched this entire video afterwards, thank you so much for being such a dedicated fan. Even if you skip to the end, thank you for being a fan in general. Even though if you watched the entire video, you're a better fan. Oh, what did I say? Yeah, don't worry about it. No, all of my fans are great. Thank you so much. If any of you have any questions, whether that be live or afterwards, please write in the comments. I love responding to the comments as much as I can. And sometimes I'll make jokes. Sometimes I'll give you, if you ask me a question, I'll give you an answer most of the time, unless it's stupid. Like if you ask me what's 2 + 2, I'll say fish. But yeah, I love interacting with the fans. It definitely drives me to make more and more videos each day. And now that the amusement park season is started, let's bring it on. So once again, if you have any last minute questions for anyone watching, please put it in the chat. Otherwise, if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.